Hello everyone, welcome back to the B classes. Today we're going to start a new chapter, chapter number 6, that is decision making and looping statement. Chapter 6, decision making and looping statements. In the previous chapter, we studied about decision making and branching statement, but this is decision making and looping statements. So what do you mean by the word loop? Looping means nothing but repetition. To repeat a particular task is known as looping. So what do you mean by repeat? For example, every day in the morning you brush your teeth. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the days throughout the year, your whole life, you are brushing your teeth every day. So this is called a loop. So looping means repeating a task. Repeating a task is known as a looping. For example, every Friday, you go to a restaurant with your family. So whenever Friday comes, each Friday, what you do? You go to the restaurant. So this is called again a loop. So loop doesn't mean that it has to be daily. It can be once a week, it can be once a month, but it has to be consistent. It has to be repeated. The same thing has to be repeated. When same thing repeats, we call it as a loop. So in Java program, in few of the programs, you will get situations where you need to repeat a particular task many times. Repeat means when you do the task more than once. Till now, till chapter 5, we are doing a task only once. But now from chapter 6, there will be programs where we need to do a particular task more than once. So if you do a particular task more than once, then that is known as a looping. So there are three types. Those are for, while, and do while. Out of which, for will be used the most. If you remember, in chapter 5 also, there were many decision making branching statements. If and switch, and within if, simple if else, and if else if ladder. So combined everything, there are 4 decision making and branching statements. Similarly, in looping, there are 3 types: for, while, and do while. And what is a good thing? So if you remember in chapter 5, I told you that not all programs can be done using all types of decision making and branching statements. You cannot do all programs using if else. You cannot do all programs using if else if ladder. You cannot do all programs using switch. Okay. So there are some restriction. So you have to use different types of decision making branching statement in different types of programs. But here the good thing is, doesn't matter what the loop program is. It can be any loop program. That loop program can be done using for. That loop program can be done using while. And that loop program can be done using do while. So you can use for, you can use while, you can use do while according to your choice. So there is one program given in a board exam. Someone did using for, he will get full marks. Someone did it using while, he will also get full marks. And someone did it using do while, he will also get full marks. Yes, in case it is told that you have to use for loop, or you have to use while loop, or you have to use do while loop, then you have to use that decision making and looping statement. If it has not said anything, you can do using for, you can do using while, you can also do using do while. But generally, we will be using for loop, the for decision making and looping statement, the most preferred looping statement to do looping programs. So now you got what is loop. Loop means nothing but repetition. And you also know there are how many types? There are 3 types: for, while, and do while. So now we will understand more about loops. So loop contains 4 important parts. A loop contains 4 important parts. It can be for loop, it can be while loop, it can be do while loop, doesn't matter. In all the 3 loops, there are 4 important parts. First one is initialization. Second is test condition. Third one is updation, and fourth one is body. Out of these four, the first three is the most important. The first three are important because in case any one of those are not present, a loop will not work. For example, in a loop, initialization is not there, the loop will not work. Or test condition is not there, the loop will not work. Or updation is not there, the loop will not work. A loop will work only if initialization, test condition and updation is present. If it is not present, either you will get error or you will get some wrong answers. Okay, if you don't have these three present, even if one is missing, you will not get the desired output or you will get some error. So remember, initialization, test condition and updation is compulsory in a loop. And body means group of statements that you want to repeat. These are nothing but statements. In a loop, you can keep one statement or you can keep more than one statement. Okay. What statements? Statements you want to repeat. Statements you want to repeat. The statements you want to repeat should be kept inside the body of the loop. So even if there is no statement, it will not give any error. The loop will work. But the loop will not work if either of those three, that is initialization, test condition, and updation is not present. If these three are not present, a loop will not work normally. Okay, understood? Now we will be using these four things, the four important things, 1, 2, 3, 4, to understand the syntax of the three types of loop, that is for, while and do while. So the first one we are going to talk is while loop. The syntax of while loop is initialization, then while, within bracket, test condition, then curly brackets, and within curly brackets we have the body and updation. You can see all the four things are present: initialization, test condition, body and updation. And this is the syntax of while loop. The syntax of do while is, the syntax of do while is same as while. What you have to do, instead of while you have to write do, and this while will be shifted to this place, from here to this after the curly brackets, and your syntax will be over, and at the end we have to give a semicolon. Let me write it. So initialization, then instead of the while line we have to write do, then bracket, then body, then updation, and then this while will come here, while test condition. And remember, after this you have to give a semicolon. It is compulsory to give semicolon after this while statement. Not in here, not in this case, not in while. In the syntax of do while, you have to give a semicolon after the while line. Okay, so this is the syntax of do while. And the third one is for. Syntax is for initialization, semicolon test condition, semicolon updation, and within bracket we have the body. So body means a group of statement. It can be one statement or more than one statement, can also be zero. Zero means empty. So if there is no statements inside a body, if there is no statements inside a body, it is called an empty loop. We'll call it as an empty loop. Means within the loop there is nothing to be done. It is called an empty loop. In board exam, if the question will be asked, give an example of empty loop, then within the body you will not keep any statements. That will be an example of empty loop. So here in all the 3 loops you can see there are 4 things, that is initialization, test condition and body. Initialization, test condition, body and updation, 4 things. In for also initialization, test condition, updation and body. So all the 4 important parts of the loops are present in all the 3 different types of loops. So now what I will do is I will write a program in all the 3 ways, that is while, do while and for, and make you understand how these 3 types of loops are working. So the program is, write a program to print first 10 natural numbers. The program is to print first 10 natural numbers. What are the first 10 natural numbers? From 1 to 10. These are the first 10 natural numbers. Using while, do while and for. You have to use while, do while and for. We'll write the same program using all the 3 ways. Okay. So we already know in a loop there are 4 parts, 4 important parts that we cannot miss. That is initialization, test condition, body and updation. Initialization, test condition, body and updation. So what is initialization? Initialization is the first value. So in this case we know that we have to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. We already know that you have to print from 1 to 10. What is the first value? 1 is the first value. And what is the last value? 10 is the last value. So remember, the first value is always the initialization, and the last value is always the test condition. First value is the initialization and the last value is the test condition. How to go from 1 to 2? You have to add +1. From 2 to 3, +1. From 3 to 4, +1. So you have to increase the value by 1 every time. So this +1 is nothing but updation. This +1 is nothing but updation. And what is the body? Body means in this case we are going to print. In this case we are going to print the natural numbers. So we have initialization, we have updation, and we have test condition, and we have the print statement in the body to print those natural numbers. Test condition means the same thing we had in if. In if also we had test condition. In if else ladder we had test condition. Similarly this is test condition. Means a test condition can be a logical or a relational statement or expression. It has to be a logical or relational expression. So let us write this program in BlueJ, first using while, then I will convert it to do while, and then finally I will convert it to for. So we'll create a class, chapter 6a, public void DNM. So now we'll do this program using while. So first let me write the syntax. Initialization, then we have the while, and within bracket the test condition, then we have the body and updation. So initialization will take the first value. So we'll take a variable, let it be I, and keep the first value. What will the first value? Will be 1. 1 is the first value. Test condition means till what the loop will work. Means till what we are going to print the natural number. Till 10. So I will continue till it is less than or equal to 10. If it is 1, it is within 10, we'll print it. Then it will become 2. How it will become 2? When we'll update it. How to update? I equal to I plus 1, or you can write I plus plus also. It will also increase the value of I by 1. That is the increment. We have already seen what will be the updation, that is +1. And body means you are going to print those natural numbers. Println. So here I, you can see I is present in initialization. This variable I will declare this. This variable I, which is integer type, is present in initialization, is present in test condition, and also present in updation. This variable has always to be same. Remember, the variable in initialization, in test condition, and in updation has to be same. It always has to be same. And this variable is known as loop variable. The variable I here is called the loop variable. The loop variable will be present in your initialization, in your test condition, and in your updation. It is not compulsory that it has to be used in the body. It is not compulsory, but it has to be present in initialization, it has to be present in test condition, and it has to be present in initialization. If you see that it is not present, that means there might be some problem in your loop. So you return the program. Now let us run this and check if you are getting the answer. Then I will explain how is this working. Let us run this program. So you are getting all the 10 natural numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, let us see how is this working. So we have I equal to 1, which is nothing but initialization. Then we are checking if I is less than equal to 10. So I is 1. Is 1 less than equal to 10? True. It is similarly like if. We would be writing if I is less than equal to 10. If it is true, we will go inside. If it is false, we will not go inside. Okay. So here in this case, it is true. So we will go inside. And here we will print the value of I, that is 1. Then I equal to I plus 1. The I value will become 2. So in if, what happens? After the bracket is closed, we come out and it is end of the program. Here it will return back. It will return back. It will return back where? To the while, to the test condition. So after this bracket, it will return back to the test condition and it will check. It will check what? I less than equal to 10 again. What is the value of I? It is 2 now. Now it has become 2. 2 less than equal to 10? True. True means again it will come inside and it will print. Then I equal to I plus 1. This will become 3. Again it will return back to while and it will check if 3 is less than equal to 10. True. It will print 3. I value becomes 4. Then again 4 less than equal to 10. True. It will print 4 and I value will become 5. Then again it will check 5 less than equal to 10. True. It will print 5 and I value will become 6. 6 less than equal to 10. True. It will print 6 and I value will become 7. 7 less than equal to 10. True. It will print 7 and I value will become 8. 8 less than equal to 10. True. It will print 8 and I value will become 9. 9 less than equal to 10. True. It will print 9 and I value will become 10. 10 less than 10. False. 10 equal to 10. True. Again it will come inside and it will print 10. I value will become 11. Then again it will check 11 less than equal to 10. False. Now this while loop will become false. False means it will come outside. And here there is nothing. Here there can be statement X. Statement X means after completing while loop, if there is any more statements, it is optional. It depends on the program. If there is, those will get executed, or else in this case it is end of the program. So see, we are getting all the values from 1 to 10. So remember, in if what happens? It executes only one. If you see, if and while are almost same. The only difference is in if we check if it is true or false. If it is true, we execute it. If it is false, we don't execute it. But it is only once. In while means in loop. In while, do while and for, we'll check if it is true, we'll execute it and again check. We'll keep on checking till the test condition is false. If it is false, then only we'll come out of the while loop or we'll stop executing the while loop. Understood? Now we'll write the same program using do while. So now we have to write this program using do while. We'll already written while. What I will do, I will just convert this while program into do while program. Okay. So remember, instead of while, here do will come and while statement will be shifted after the last bracket, the closing bracket, and at the end we'll give a semicolon. Our job is done. Now we have successfully converted a while program into do while program. It is so easy. Instead of while, write do. Bring the while statement, don't delete it, bring it after the ending bracket and give a semicolon. This is end of your loop. So this completes the do while program. So let us see how do while program works. And remember, we will get the same output. Just check. I'll run the program and you can see we'll get the same output 1 to 10. Only the way of working will be little different. So here I value is 1, that is initialization. See, this is a test condition, this is the updation, and this is the body. So here in do we are not checking anything. Do means we have to execute it. Execute. So it will print 1. I equal to I plus 1. I value will become 2. Now it will check here. So it is not checking at the previous point. It is checking at the end. After completing one round, it will check if 2 is less than equal to 10. It is true. So if it is true, what will happen? It will go to do again. So do means again go inside. It will print 2. Then I value increases to 3. 3 less than equal to 10. True. Again it will go to do. Then it will print 3. I value becomes 4. 4 less than equal to 10. True. Again do. It will do what? It will print. That is 4. Then I value becomes 5. 5 less than equal to 10. True. It will print 5. And it will increase the value by 6. 6 less than equal to 10. True. It will print 6. And I value will increase to 7. 7 less than equal to 10. True. This value will become 7. And I value will become 8. Then 8 less than equal to 10. It is true. Again it will print 8. And I value will become 9. 9 less than equal to 10. True. It will print 9. And I value becomes 10. 10 is equal to 10. So again it will print 10. And I value becomes 11. So now when it will check 11 less than equal to 10, it will become false. And it will come out of do while loop. And it is the end of program. So here also we are getting the same answer, that is from 1 to 10. Now what we'll do, we'll convert this program to for loop and learn how for loop is working. So we already have the program in do while. We'll convert this to for. So in for, here we'll write for initialization I equal to 1. So here we are only going to declare. Here we are only going to declare the variable I. That is a loop variable. Initialization is here. Test condition is also here. And updation is also here. The good thing is initialization, test condition, updation are all in the same line. And you cannot interchange. That you will keep initialization in this middle place or updation in the first place. That is not possible. The first is always initialization, the second is always test condition, and the last one is always updation. Understood? So this completes the for loop. And you will be using for loop in 99% of the program, which are based on decision making and looping. So now let us first run this program, check we are getting the same answer, and then we'll understand how is this working. See, we are getting the same answer. Let us run this manually. So we have I equal to 1 initial value. Then it will check if 1 is less than equal to 10. True. True means it will go inside. True means it will go inside and it will print the value of I, that is 1. And after that it will come to updation. So it goes like this. Initialization, then test condition, then body, and then updation. I value will become 2. And then again it will be back to test condition. 2 less than equal to 10. True. True means again it will come to body. So it will go like this triangle. Test condition, body, updation. Test condition, body, updation. Test condition, body, updation, like this. It will start with initialization in the first case. Then it will move to test condition, body, updation. Test condition, body, updation. Test condition, body, updation, till the test condition is false. So now 2 less than equal to 10. True. True means it will go inside and it will print the value of I, that is 2. Then I plus plus or I equal to I plus 1. Same thing. Becomes 3. 3 less than equal to 10. True. Come inside. Print 3. I plus 1 becomes 4. Less than equal to 10. True. Come inside. It will print 4. I value becomes 5. Again true. Come inside. Print 5. I value increases to 1. Becomes 6. Less than 10. It will print 6. Again I value becomes 7. 7 is less than 10. It will come inside. It will print 7. Then again I equal to I plus 1. 8, again less than 10, it will print, becomes 9. Then again 9 is less than 10, it will print, I value becomes 10, again true, it is equal to 10, it will come inside, it will print 10, and this time I value becomes 11. When I value becomes 11 and it will check 11 less than equal to 10, the for loop will become false and it will no more be executed. It's the end of the program. So again we are getting the same answer, that is from 1 to 10. Understood how all the three types of loops are working? So the question comes, if all the three programs are same, they work in the similar way, then what is the difference between for, while and do while? What is the difference between for, while and do while? So I'm not going to tell about the difference between for, while and do while in this video. In the next video, I am going to explain what is the difference between for, while and do while. Before that, I will be giving you small output programs like I gave in if. Solve that programs. I have already told you how for, while and do while is working. Just try the output programs. Don't worry even if they are wrong. Just try it. I will explain you the answer of the output programs. And in that class itself, I am going to explain you what is the difference between for, while and do while. So after doing some output programs and they are working, you will get to understand how these three are different from each other. Even if they are different from each other, you will always get the same answer. Except few exceptional cases. There are exceptional cases where you will get a different answer. Other than that, other than these exceptional cases, in normal programs, in normal Java programs, you will get the same answer. If you use for, if you use while or do while, there is no difference. So now I will take a leave from you. Have a nice day. Thank you.